Yeah,
in that rut.
Man.
Optimist.
Rut. Hey man, I don't. For the whole videos, I ain't never really just said that I appreciate all the beats that you made. If everybody who views this, every beat that you hear on our, that man right there. That man right there. Straight from scratch. Every beat. This man right there. Tell you the truth. Hear the truth. When's the last time you heard a record that bang without a bass line? I'll let that marinate for a minute. A song that you really like that doesn't have a bass line.
No kick.
Something gotta be said on there. It gotta be a lyrical record, right? If you ain't bobbing, I mean, you gonna bob anyway, cause it still got to bob in there, but it don't got to. We about to make you sit down and pay attention right now. Rut. This is one of them things that everybody can relate to.
Yeah.
Everybody. Everybody. I mean, you got $3 in your pocket. You need some gas to go to work. That's a rut. You open up your refrigerator door, kind of empty. That's a rut. Can't get no sleep. Mind going wild. Can't find an escape of your own thoughts. That's a rut. What's going on in the world today? Now that's a rut. I just feel like there's so many white jackets on the earth, man. You know, everybody's locked up in their own ways and too scared to open up and embrace somebody else being beside them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you in a rut, how you gonna make it out that rut? With nothing. If you don't got nothing and you in a rut, the rut is very broad. I don't have to explain what a rut is. It's broad. If you in a rut, any kind of rut, and you don't got nothing, how you gonna get out that rut? At that point, you gotta start looking around, trying to find someone. It ain't like you trying to find something. At that point, you trying to find someone, cause prior to that rut, you was looking for something, so you didn't even get in that rut. But that didn't play out too right. So now you gotta find someone. Well, if we all got white jackets on and stuck in our own ways and ain't really trying to hear what the next man or the next lady, next child, anybody hear what they got to say and embrace it on a genuine level, opinions is like assholes. Everybody got one. Everybody use it. Just like your mouth. Everybody use it. So, you mean to tell me that my opinion ain't respected just like yours? If we both in a rut, I might have something to say that can help you get up out of there. If I'm in a rut, you might have something to say to help me get up out of there. But if I'm just sitting there with a white jacket on and I'm stuck in my own ways, like, nah, that ain't gonna work. I don't really trying to hear that. I'll figure it out. You ain't really trying to hear nobody else. How much longer do you be stuck in that rut?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
About one.
I'm a victim to it myself. I ain't hired to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm a victim to it myself. The only difference is now I recognize it. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm in a rut or I know a rut coming, I know how to prepare for it because I'm open to hear what somebody else got to say to see if they what they prior knowledge to my knowledge can help some kind of growth. At the end of the day, you're gonna need some kind of growth. Every rut should be a lesson for growth. If you don't grow out that rut, I guarantee that rut gonna come back around. I can guarantee 9 times out of 10, if you ain't learned that lesson, when the first time that rut came around, and you may have skipped past it or bypassed it, but you ain't really learned nothing from it, you was like, I guarantee it's gonna be right back around. until you figure out how you got in that rut and what to do to get out that rut, so you don't ever see that rut again. A rut is gonna be consistent. I don't care how good your life going, you're gonna fall into some kind of bump, some kind of hurdle, some kind of obstacle. Something's gonna be in your way from trying to reach you, get you from your destination. But if you never learn the lessons from these prior ruts, all these ruts is gonna keep coming up, and you never gonna grow. The moment you learn from the first rut, you allow the next rut to grow. Then you don't get excited, cause who gets excited about a rut? But now you're a little bit more confident that you're gonna make it through that rut. You got a little bit more soul, a little bit more, power behind your thoughts when you like, okay, this is happening right now, but I'm about to make it through this. I made it through the last one, and I'm about to make it through this one right here with a breeze. You know what I'm saying? Rut. What you got about rut, man?
Well, that was one that I was able to really connect with because at the time when I was writing it, I was all up in it. You know what I'm saying? And it was not one of them little casual ruts either. It was a long stretch, like a good 6 to 8 months of just drugs and not being a man. Taking care of my family, causing more problems than I solved. A lot of that, and a lot of hypocrisy too. Just disgusting amounts of hypocrisy. And but it helped me because now I can't look at hypocrisy like that. I can't be a part of hypocrisy. I try hard not to. I'll say that because sometimes I catch myself, but never intentionally now. So rut was it was I was stuck all the way. I didn't see no light. I think I was indifferent uh, to life in general. I mean, nothing really mattered that much. I was just kind of coasting along, and it didn't even have to be that things were just so hard for me or anything like that. It was just that I just was not really taking advantage of life at all. I was just every day was the same. Get up for work, get high, go to work, come back home, get high, missing the point. And it just it got tiring finally. It took a long time, but it finally got tiring. But I'm thankful for this record because it encaptures it perfectly to me how I felt at that time. Like I think that's rare for a record too, is when you can just you're right in that moment and then you happen to be able to make it at that moment like that. A lot of times people will have a thought and then they have to go back to that moment and really try to capture it. But I was living that moment at that moment when I made um, my verses. So it, I hope it translates and that you can feel how it was for me, at that point in time because I made it very broad as well to try to include everybody. It was all examples that we can all relate to, but just very real. So um, like I said, I got a deep appreciation for being in ruts because when you come out of it, you shine a lot brighter. So, just try and stay up. You'll get out of it, but you got to want to get out of it too. You got to do something to walk forward out of it. Um, and even better, prevent it. We all see ourselves heading for a rut before we get there. Um, and then we just keep on walking.
I mean, just don't take life for granted. Embrace every obstacle, anything that thinks that's tougher than tougher than you, and what you know that what you're about and what you're here for. On a grown level, not on a petty, on some little BS level, but like on some real, on a genuine level. Like what I'm saying, like we really going through obstacles and ruts. You know what I'm saying? Like don't take that for granted. Don't feel like that's the end of the world. What they say at the end of the tunnel, there's a light. Well, some of us ain't got that good of a vision to see that far. Well, that just means you got to fight just a little bit further to see the light. If you know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, don't stop fighting till you see that piece of light.
Hmm.
I don't care. I mean, I know visions. Some got 20/20 and all the other little visions. But I mean, if you can't see that well, that means you just got a little bit more rut than the next person. You got a little bit more baggage than the next person. Sort it out. You know what I'm saying? Maneuver. It ain't like it's gonna go nowhere.
It's built for you.
It's what you are. Your rut is what make you. My ruts is what made me. What made Daryl Young Swerve Spencer right here is what made me my ruts. What I done been through. When you hear me on all these different records, that's me, genuinely, from everything I've been through. You know what I'm saying? But when you don't, just don't take life for granted. If you feel like you about to give up, they always say when you about to give up, that's that moment where, you know what I'm saying, that's where the sun about to start shining. If you're not open enough to let the sun shine, what light you gonna see?
That's right.
Right. Emoji. Ah. Swerve.